Hello students, we will learn the values of t function, that is trigonometric functions, using the coordinate of any point P on the circle, on the unit circle cos theta sin theta. So this is a unit circle. Let us assume that this is a unit circle. So any point on this unit circle will be of coordinate cos theta sin theta. That means if we take any angle here, then the value of, if the angle is suppose say 45 degree, then this coordinate is P is cos 45 sin 45. That means what is the value of, we have already memorized the value of cos 45. It is 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. That means this point is 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2. The x coordinate is 1 by root 2 and the y coordinate is 1 by root 2. So in this way, if we have angle here 60 degree, again we can get the value, and at here also 30 degree. So every point on the circle gives the value of cos theta and sin theta for different angles. Now let us see for the first, here in the x-axis, for this point A. Now in the x-axis, before taking any rotation, the angle is 0. So at point A, the cos theta will be cos 0 and sin will be sin 0. So, and also the coordinate of A, we know it is 1 0 because it is a unit circle and this point is 1 0. So we got the value of cos 0 is 1 and sin 0 is 0, sin 0 is 0. So when cos 0 is 1 at 0, now here as the value of x decreases, what happens, that is at this point, say this is 30 degree, this point is cos 30 sin 30. Now for this point, the value of cos 30 will be, now you see this is a point here less than 1. So and sin 30 is also here, sin 30 is the y coordinate, sin 30 point, this point will be sin 30. So this is also less than 1. In this way, here at A, the cos 0 was 1. Now as we move on, cos 30 becomes here less than 1 and sin 30 is also some value, not 0. So as we move on this circle, now at 90 degree, cos 90 is 0 and sin 90 is 1. That means here at 0, cos 0 was 1, and as we move on, the value of cos goes on decreasing and decreasing, and at this point cos becomes 0. And here sin was 0, sin keeps on increasing along the y-axis, the value is increasing and sin becomes 1. So here cos changes from 1 to 0 and the value of sin changes from 0 to 1. Now again, if we move on and move on, we come to another point. Here the value of x is again decreasing. So the value of x is decreasing in the negative side. So as the value of, if we move on and come to this point, cos of this point is cos pi and sin pi. So the value of cos pi is minus 1 and the value of sin pi is 0. So from 0, cos 90, that is 0, as we increase, keep on coming, it becomes, the value of cos is again decreased to 1. So here from this was the first quadrant to second quadrant. As we move from the first quadrant, point 0 degree, the value of cos is 1, the value keeps on decreasing, becomes 0, and the value of cos keeps on decreasing again and becomes minus 1. So again, if we move on, here the value of cos is again 0, the x coordinate is 0, that is at 3 pi by 2, the value of cos is 0. Again, as we move on and come back to the original place, this point will be again cos 2 pi sin 2 pi. So the value of cos becomes 1 again. That means let us observe for cos, the value of cos here 1, as it moves on it decreases to 0, and again it becomes minus 1, and again it becomes 0, and again comes back to 1. That means the value of cos is changing like 1, decreasing to 0, again decreasing to minus 1, again increasing from minus 1 to 0, it is increasing, and again 0 to 1. So this is how the value of cos x is changing. And for sine, at 0 degree the sine is 0, and 90 it becomes 1. That means here the y coordinate is increasing, it becomes y 1, and again the y coordinate here decreasing, the value of sine becomes 0, and again it keeps on decreasing minus 1, and again it keeps on increasing from 0. So from 0 to 1 for sine, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, again 0 to minus 1, and again minus 1 to 0. So the value keeps on changing from 0 to, again it comes back again at 0 for sine. So this is how the value of sine and cos is changing as the angle increases. So this was for the first rotation. Now again for the second rotation, that means if we turn for one time, and for the second rotation this angle will be 5 pi by 2. Why 5 pi by 2? For the first rotation it was 190. Here when we rotate here it is one time 90, and second 90, third 90, fourth 90. Again if you rotate it is 590, and again if you come here it will be 690. 6 times 90 rotation, that is 3 pi. And then if we come again here it will be 790, that means 7 pi by 2. And if we come back again, make the second rotation, it will be 8 times 90, which is 4 pi. So in this way, if the circle, if on the terminal line or the point moves for the second rotation, the angles formed in the second rotation will be at this point. When it comes to this point, it will make 5 pi by 2 angle, and as it comes to this point it will be 3 pi, and as it comes to this point it will be 7 pi by 2, and again it reaches to the same point A, it makes an angle of 4 pi as a whole. So at this angle also cos will be 0 again, because it is at the same, cos 4 pi will be 1 because it is at the same point. Sin 4 pi will be 0, and here also cos 5 pi by 2 will be 0, and sin 5 pi by 2 will be 1, and at this point also cos 3 pi will be minus 1, sin 3 pi will be 0, and again here cos 7 pi by 2 will be 0, and sin pi by 2, 7 pi by 2 will be minus 1. So in this way, for if we keep on rotating, the same value will be repeated again and again, and we see that the value of sine and cos changes from 1 to 0, 0 to minus 1, minus 1 to 0, again comes back to 1. That means always for sine and cos the values ranges from 1 to minus 1, so or minus 1 to 1. So the value of sine is always in between, sine and cos are always in between minus 1 and 1. It may be equal to minus 1 and 1, and it is minus 1 and 1 where sine is taking minus 1 and 1 value at the y-axis, and cos is taking 1 and minus 1 value at the x-axis. So this is a very important thing we have to understand. And very quickly let us learn how to write the angles of the lines in different quadrant. In the first quadrant we have first quadrant, second quadrant, this is third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. So in between 0 and 90 we have angle pi by 6, that is 30, pi by 4, pi by 3. This is 30 degree, this is 45 degree, and this is 60 degree. Similarly, in the second quadrant, we will write near x-axis, we will always write pi by 6. And in between we have pi by 4, pi by 3. And again, near the x-axis, we write pi by 6, and pi by 4, and pi by 3. And again, near the x-axis, we write pi by 6, pi by 4, pi by 3. Now we have to remember one thing, AS, AP, ASAP. So here AS, AP, and S means, for the first quadrant it is fine, we have these angles. S means subtract. It means if this is, the denominator is 3, we have subtract 1 from 3, we have 2. So this angle will be, 2 pi by 3. And subtract 4 from 1, we have 3, 6, subtract 1, 5. In this way we have other, in this quadrant it is S means subtract. Now in the second quadrant, add 1 to 6, 7, 7 pi by 6, 4, 5, 3, 4. Now this is P means prime number. Here after 3 we have 5 prime number, after 5 we have 7, after 7 we have 11. These are the angles. So, and we denote these angles as, so this is the angle here, and this angle is this one, 5 pi by 6 is this angle. So in this way we have different angles in different quadrants. So this is a very important way to remember ASAP, subtract, add, and prime. 5, 7, 11 are the primes. So in the second quadrant we have 2 pi by 3, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 6 angles, 7 in third, 7 pi by 6, and so on.